Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your show on. Get paid. Hey now, you're an all-star. Put your ding-a-ling in a bar. What is happening now? Smash Mouth is my favorite band since Shrek came out.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Robo-Boots podcast.
The last few times we've done that, it's been such a graceless thing of the transition. It's not been smooth enough. The audio coming in, and I thought I would carry it. I would carry it in.
I even did like
I thought I saw him doing that, and I was even saying, I was going to say it to him beforehand, and then I thought, no, I'll just Smash Mouth it.
Yeah, and you fucking ruined it.
Shrek, baby. Shrek. Buy it now on Blu-ray, the whole collection. Shrek 1, Shrek 2, Shrek the Third, and Shrek Forever After.
Is it just 4? I thought there was more. Or are there like side
Puss
movies?
in Boots.
There's Puss in Boots.
And there's a bunch of Christmas specials starring all the donkeys. I don't know.
Right, because he had sex with the dragon.
A donkey fucked a dragon in that series.
Yeah.
That's the thing they don't spend enough time talking about. How did that happen? How did he do it?
Eddie Murphy.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex Hanley. Alex, with me is Jason Church. Jason.
Hello. This is our third. This is why we stopped numbering things, because it's too hard to keep track. Third video podcast.
Episode 128 of the Robo-Boots podcast.
128 of the Robo-Boots podcast. I don't know what of the SuperRoboPlay podcast that go live on.
Probably 23. Michael Jordan. Slam dunk.
Something like that. So, welcome everyone. I'm going to forewarn this is going to be a shorter episode. We're actually going to be doing some Twitch streaming right after this.
Yes.
Pretty stoked for it.
Yes.
But it's a jam-packed episode today. There's a lot to talk about.
And we're going to start here with me reading some tweets from a Twitter account called PostCrunk.
Okay.
Jason's not allowed to look, so he can see access to my screen. So he gets... Well, I got to read a bunch of them, but I'm just saying just don't look at my screen. That's all.
I'll just do this. I've got the...
They're talking points. Sometimes with this podcast, we'd like to use it as a platform to express ourselves and our ideas and concepts from me to you. Because it's not always jokes. It's not always laughs. The world is not always giggles. Sometimes you need to sit there and you got to think.
I always hate how that podcast where we talked about love was just lost. Because that was a really good podcast.
Oh, yeah, that was like a few months ago where we got down to the nitty-gritty.
It was real talk.
It wasn't we had a podcast about like people and society and relationships.
Yeah.
And that one was lost thanks to the 100th episode.
Yeah.
So
there's that.
But hey, the 100th episode was great.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read a few tweets without comment. And I want you listening, watching this, I want you to take a deep breath, take a little pause, and think about the things I'm going to say. Existence is too weird to just be the species that buys things. Hi, I'm one of billions of creatures ingesting and excreting matter to perpetuate my existence on a sphere floating in space. How are you? Taco Bell hot sauce packet that reads, the CIA has assassinated 6 million people since 1947.
What?
You were born into a strange universe to work and then die. Life is absurd, so start acting like it. Look at the faces of all the strangers you see and silently wish them peace in their time on Earth. Don't fucking choose the safety of indifference over the vulnerability of love.
Whoa.
The only reason you were made to think there is something wrong with the way you look is so people could sell you things. Attempting to live as a human being for 700,000 hours and not get jaded to the breathtaking wonder of existence. Our biggest mistake is pretending all of this is normal and not accepting the beautiful, insane, surreal tragedy of earthbound existence. So
I was ready to be like, yeah, we got a fun episode, and it's like, hey guys, I'm Alex Hanley. I'm gonna bring it all down to Turkey Town. Blech.
Like I said, sometimes you got to get real. People who have a platform and people who have an audience, they use it for their agendas. And this is not an agenda. This is not like...
No.
We're not saying abortions are good, abortions are bad. None of that. No political agenda.
Never,
it's about
ever.
If you're in a position like we are, where people, the small amount of people that it may be, why wouldn't we want to say something? Why wouldn't we want to promote positivity?
Impart some wisdom. Impart some ideas.
Think, people.
Germinate.
These things that I said, you may think it's a bit, it's a joke.
It's really not.
Think about the things that I just said. Go back and rewatch them and really fucking think. People don't spend enough time ruminating about the things that happen in their lives and the thoughts they could be thinking.
Well,
people just act, they wake up, they do things, and they go to sleep, and they don't think about things.
And they die.
You do that for 70 years, and you fucking drop dead. People don't spend enough time thinking.
Yeah.
Think. There's so much things to again, ruminate. Ruminationcast. That's what's going to be called.
Ruminationcast.
Fucking think about the things in your life.
It's true. There's so much that goes on.
The events that occur.
There's
the events
so much
that will occur. Think about them. That's
and it's
all.
not easy. And we're not saying it's easy, but it's the right thing to do.
Fucking ruminate.
That's it. That's it. Talk about some video games.
Woo! Let's play some video games!
Yeah! So the VGXs they're close to being
The VGXs, they are done, aren't they?
I don't know.
How do we know who won? Did they lead the show with who won?
They must have. I thought it was a 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock show. And
we already know who won. We're recording this at 5:30.
Yeah.
And we already know that Grand Theft Auto 5 won.
Yeah.
The Video Game Awards.
Spoilers, if you haven't seen that
For those who are not aware, Spike TV for 10 plus years has been doing, is this the 10th year? I thought last year was their 10th year.
Last year.
Yeah, I thought VGX, VGX, X meaning 10, maybe not.
I don't know.
Nobody knows what the X stands for. They're rebranding the VGAs, the Video Game Awards, as VGX. And everyone's making fun of the show because there's no LL Cool J and Christina Aguilera presenting the award for best.
I think Samuel L. Jackson still had some presence though, because there was
that.
There was an image.
He's a gamer, Jason.
Well, I know there's an image here that is of him in The Walking Dead. It seems like, or a character that looks like him that was announced 4 hours ago. So I don't know. It's still saying it's Spike's VGX, so I don't know.
Yeah. So what they're doing a big 3-hour live stream show, and they're going to condense it all down to an hour for the TV.
Yeah, which goes on tonight, but
which is kind of like what they do for the Creative Arts Emmys. There's the Emmys for TV where they have all the fucking TV actors show up, and there's the Creative Arts Emmys where it's like best cinematography, all the technical stuff, and also smaller awards like best, because I know about this because a lot of the podcasts I listen to are comedy podcasts, and they all get nominated for Creative Arts Emmys for things like, I don't know if you know Children's Hospital, that show.
I don't think I do.
A bunch of basically all the Adult Swim shows get nominated for Emmys, but not for the main show.
Yeah.
But you'll still go because it's fucking free champagne, food.
Why not?
You get to brush shoulders with some important people. Why wouldn't you go?
Yeah.
But that's the kind of same thing they do, where they put all the unimportant stuff in this thing, and they don't really broadcast any of it.
It looks like Bernie Burns and Joel from Rooster Teeth
are pregnant?
Yes, both of them with twins. No, they had some sort of cameo.
Here is a video of Joel from The Last of Us doing the Banderas. Can you put that on the thing?
Yeah, I can.
It's on Kotaku. It should be right there. We're gonna give you breaking news.
Yeah. Let's go to Chrome here, and this is
that's
unprofessional
Jason.
I didn't realize we were having to do this, so.
Oh boy.
Hey, this is real. This is real, guys.
This is exactly what Post Crunk was talking about on his Twitter. Everyone followed Post Crunk.
So here's a video of Joel from The Last of Us doing the Banderas.
Full screen that shit.
Full screen that.
Oh my god, that's beautiful. I guess they won some award and that's what they did.
That is absolutely brilliant. That really is.
I think they won Studio of the Year is what they won. They couldn't win Game of the Year because the odds weren't in their favor, but for this, they could.
Yeah, so I think Bioshock Infinite was best FPS. It's like all the games that really should have gotten an award.
Imagine humans were as excited to meet each other as dogs were to meet each other. Why, as a society, are we not willing to express our feelings?
Did something happen this week?
And our emotions.
Something happened this week that you're just in this metaphysical mood, that you're just like, what is life?
Post-crunk.
Post-crunk. You actually had
Twitter.
You had an interesting story that you wanted to tell on the podcast this week.
Last week when we were streaming and doing some episodes, we wrapped up at around 3 a.m.
Well, we played League of Legends at the end.
We played League as well, which we also kind of streamed, but not really. And I was gonna sleep here on this couch that you see before you, but then I decided, I figured Jason's gonna wake up really early. I want to get
Hockey game was on.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I fucking slept for like 14 hours. I've been up for such a long time, and my brain had been working at miles a minute. You don't understand when I'm speedrunning. I'm in my head constantly thinking about what the next thing I have to do is, and also if you make a mistake, what's the next thing you should do in the event of a mistake happening?
Yeah.
So constantly I'm just like, the gears are spinning really quickly.
That went well. The whole show, doing the misconnections, I think people really seem to be in favor of it. I'm not sure if we'll do it again.
I don't know what else we'd speedrun.
Yeah. Well, not even the speedrun, but just like the show in general. I think we're slowly coming to our own on
the
Twitch.
stream that we're doing after this is going to be Jason playing both games. So last time it was me the whole time playing games.
Yeah, for the last couple of that and BioShock.
Yeah, so now it's going to be all Jason.
Yeah.
But no, we wrapped up around 3, and I didn't want to sleep here because I wanted to get a good night's sleep. I didn't want to sleep for a little bit.
Yeah.
So anyways, I walked home, and I live like half an hour-ish from Jason's house, just a walk. Literally like all the way down the street. It's a straight walk.
Yeah.
So I was walking, and it's really quiet. There's hardly anybody out that late at 3 a.m. in like...
Especially where we live.
Suburban-ish Port Coquitlam. Like there's the occasional like homeless person riding their bicycle around, or some like drunk people stumbling around, but aside from that, there's nobody there. But when I was very close to my home, there's a gas station, a Shell gas station, and I heard someone crying to the right of me, and I looked, and it's a girl crying. And I sort of shouted. I was maybe 30 or 40 feet away from her, and I shouted like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
And she said, it was really muffled, and she was sort of saying like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Should I come over?" Because I don't want to be like, "I'm gonna come over there with the
hey little girl."
And she's like, "No, it's okay." And I was just like, "Well, I can't, in my heart of hearts, just walk away from this situation." So I do like slowly walk over there. I'm like, "I'm gonna come over just to make sure everything's okay." And she began to tell me that her boyfriend had broken up with her and like left her there, and that something about her friends, just like she was crying her eyes out, just like a pretty girl who, if I had to guess, was maybe like 17 or 18, just like crying, and she said she'd been where she was for like an hour. So
jeez.
I phoned a cab for her so she could go on her merry way, and she took it to Coquitlam, took it a ways away. But yeah, it was just and it's what I was talking about. Like I wrote a post on Tumblr about it. Maybe I'll just bring that up real quick.
Very weird situation of just being abandoned there. Really,
Yeah, I'm not sure quite how it went down. Like, I'm not sure if he left her there, or why she was there at this random gas station that was so far away from her home, or what was going on.
Like what had transpired.
She kept apologizing. That's what I found strange. Like, that's some people's reaction.
Yes.
To things they're just how people process some events of something bad happening, and
it's my fault. It's my
fault. Yeah, and I was like, well, there's nothing that this girl should be sorry to me for. 'Cause she's done nothing to me. But no, I wrote a little post on Tumblr after it happened, and it was pouring fucking rain, by the way.
Oh yes.
Well, I walked home. It was raining, and I didn't mind that. And luckily it wasn't as cold as it is now.
It's gotten very cold.
Yeah, it's very cold now. We're in the brisk of winter. But yeah, it was pouring rain. She was soaking wet, and I wrote, it was all very strange. It's not often you get to see someone's real emotions, at least for me. The candor of it, the rareness of it. I see the profound nature of minuscule things. I can only describe it as beautiful. And I wrote that because it's like what may be a very low moment in her life, in the brief amount of time, the amount of time she's been on this earth. Like,
yes,
you're gonna break up a lot of people. Like maybe this was her first breakup. Because I asked her, like, how long had you been going out with the guy? She said, like 3 or 4 months. It's like, well, I couldn't even help but like smile and be like, well, I know this is bad, but
things will get better.
Yeah, this is nothing. This is just a low point. But no, it's like we as people are so fearful to express ourselves, and I think we touched on this last week as well.
We did.
And maybe it'll be a recurring theme. Maybe it'll be a revamp of what message we're trying to get across with this podcast.
Yeah.
Because I've said it before when I talk about movies, I said it before when I talk about games, that what kind of message that you're trying to put out there is the most important thing. With a game, like thematically, what are you trying to say? With a movie, thematically, what are you trying to say? And now with this podcast, that there should be an underlying current. Otherwise, it's all just noise. It's all just...
It's filler. It's things that you don't really need to...
If we don't give your brain something, if we don't give the gears something to turn and to think about, then what are we doing here? It's all just noise. It's just a way to kill an hour.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with a lot of things. That's a problem with books. That's a problem with TV. A lot of things that you consume.
They're quote-unquote time wasters.
Yeah, if you're not getting something out of it, then why are you doing it?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was something that happened last week. I gave her that's I think the only time I've ever given anybody my business card, aside from Peter Streda of Slash Film, who threw it on the ground, and Victor Lucas of Electric Playground, who did not accept it.
Yeah.
So those were failures. This time she took it. So that's what it takes.
That's what it takes,
Takes
guys.
a girl at her lowest moment in her life to accept a business card.
Literally soaking in her own tears amongst the rain.
And I have not heard from her, and I don't think...
No.
We exchanged, like, and I don't want to talk about it too much, but what could I even say if I were to call this person? Like, there's nothing. Let the moment be the moment, and then that'll be it. And it's something we can talk about here, and it's something I can think about. It's just like, let the moment be the moment.
It's moments like that games, that movies aspire to have occur, and for something that people are supposed to resonate with.
If you put that, what I did in a movie, people will be like,
yeah,
that doesn't happen. It's like, no, there was a moment there, and it was, I wouldn't say it was nice, but like I said, I think it was beautiful, because people are, again, not willing to express themselves outwardly, and why not? We should not be fearful of society's perception of who we are.
And that goes back to the thing of her apologizing, that we've been prescribed with this notion that showing that fear, showing those emotions,
crying is a bad thing,
that you're being bad, that you're doing something wrong, and you're inconveniencing others. It's like, why is that? Why have we allowed ourselves as a society to allow that to occur? We are not here to give you those answers, but we're here to make you think about that.
I told you this a few weeks ago. I had some shitty events. To quote Howard Kramer, I was getting fucking hammered. And I said to Jason, I'm like, I think this is the angriest I've ever been. I think I had this moment of just absolute I don't think I'd ever been so angry in my entire life.
Yeah.
And you hear that, and it's like, well, that's a bad thing. People think, like, that's bad. For someone to be like, to tell that to another person, like someone less informed, you would think, well, that's not a good thing for someone to be angrier than they have ever been. But I told Jason that I'm like, well, no, it was really cathartic to let myself just get that angry, because you can't let that stuff be bottled up inside of you. And it wasn't something like where I was going to be destructive or hurt someone or hurt myself. It was just something I had to let my body do. I just had to get angry, and then it's out, then it's gone, and that's it. And again, it's people being too fearful with their emotions, their thoughts, and
it's like I said, they try to bottle things up, and that it becomes this point of pain for people because they don't know then how to get rid of those feelings, how to get past this point of like, why do I feel so shitty? Why do I keep coming back to this? It's like you're not addressing the problem.
You want to do one thing for me? We'll move on from this point. We won't have the whole podcast focus on this. There's stuff we have to talk about.
Yeah.
Important stuff like Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh boy.
Not this nonsense.
Oh boy.
But no, I want you to go to YouTube. I want to play a video for people because I think it also... I was going to basically just rehash... there's a movie that came out in 2011 called Bellflower, an independent film, and it's made by actually the friends of people like 5-second films people.
Okay.
Like,
so what am I looking for?
You search Bellflower, all one word, and go alternate trailer. Okay, and that should be it. But don't click that just yet. Let me just preface it a little bit.
Sure.
So some of you may know the YouTube channel 5-Second Films. It's made by Brian Ferenzi and all of his friends. They were just on Larry King recently, which is a big thing for them. I think Brian Ferenzi is talented. I think all those people are like immensely talented.
Yes.
A YouTube channel of such brilliance that I could never even aspire for ours to be as good as. Because it's too smart. Some of the Bummer Week stuff, stuff was amazing.
It's
to be that funny on a daily basis.
On a daily basis.
Ridiculous. But they don't always hit them out of the park. But it's always like it'll always get you to first base. It'll always Moneyball.
When you do it every fucking day, which we have done, it's like that is hard work.
And we gave up. Yeah. They've been doing it for longer. But anyways, friends of those, Olivia Taylor-Dudley of 5-Second Films is dating the main person we're about to see in this trailer. He directed it, he wrote it, he starred in it. Good movie.
Yeah, okay.
Let's play this. And it kind of touches on things. I was going to kind of rehash what he just said. We're going to see an advertisement, it looks like.
Let's see if I can skip the ad here. Yeah, I can. So skip that. Let's get the settings up.
Can you full screen this bitch?
Yeah. Chrome and full screen. Sound on.
I'm gonna listen to the audio.
Hello there. My name is Woodrow. And the world is a very, very strange place. It seems to me that most of the time we go about our business, doing whatever it is that we do to keep ourselves occupied. And we're generally in control of ourselves and our actions. And it's okay. But every once in a while, something actually exciting happens to you. Like, for example, you meet someone new. And all of a sudden, the world comes alive, and your emotions come alive. And it actually seems like everything's glowing. And you get to have your first kiss. And you get to make love to the other person for the first time. I think for most people, that's about the most wonderful thing that you'll ever get to experience. Depending on what state of mind you're in right now, you might think it's funny that I'm having a serious conversation with you about love in the broad daylight. But that's the funny thing about the way the world works. It's depending on what state of mind you're in, you change, and the world changes. And when you fall in love, you can get so wrapped up in it that you lose yourself. And when things start going bad, you just close your eyes and pretend it's not real. Until they get worse, and worse, and worse. And when it finally is over, and you've destroyed everything, you look back at all the unspeakable things that you've done, and wonder how you became such a monster. But that's another funny thing about the world. No one ever does anything with the intention of hurting somebody or getting hurt. And when you get your heart broken, it can be so terrible you wish you were dead. Or the other person was dead. You get through it. But but not without a couple scars. And some memories.
Whoa.
So I was just going to touch on the fact that in that trailer, he says something along the lines of, you may find it odd that I'm talking to you
About
about...
love in broad daylight.
Yeah, and I've seen that trailer enough times to know that line. He, Evan Lodell, who did that movie and did that trailer, that was strange. It was tire screeching.
Yeah.
Very,
Or a werewolf howling.
that was very timely given how that movie's about. A cool car. He says that he doesn't like that trailer because that was like the original pitch or the original script for like that was the basis for the whole movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, what he said, like I feel like some of you are going to, depending on what your mindset is, but depending on how your day went or in the mood you're in, you're going to take this podcast in a different way.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Well, not the problem, but that's just how it is sometimes with, sometimes you put a video out there, sometimes you put something out there, and depending on how someone's mood is, like they'll take it as a joke or
They'll take it as a serious thing. They'll dislike it.
I wrote something on my Tumblr where it was just, again, I'll write things just to get the thoughts out, just to express myself. And our friend Velatix, who's been in our stream, who's made some
music we've used.
Yeah, we used his music for things.
Yeah.
He just made some crack at it. And I was like so tempted just to be like, just like get on him about it. And I'm like, why? Like,
yeah.
That's just the state of mind that he's in, and we're just on two different sort of wavelengths. So if you think we're getting too deep or too weird or too whatever you'd like to, philosophical, whatever you'd like to call it, maybe come back to this in a time where you think you might be in that mood and you might be more receptive to the ideas I'm getting across. Yeah. Trying to, at least.
Because it's hard when you create entertainment in any fashion, you are trying to appeal to everyone in a sense, that you're trying to appeal to people, and then you have to start figuring out like, who am I actually appealing to, what sort of niche am I going after. But it's true, even the niche that you go after, it's like it all depends on what they're feeling, what they're thinking, whether they're gonna enjoy what you do. So
let's move on to some lighter news.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Amazing Spider-Man. This is how our podcasts go.
Yes.
There's the stuff that's usually on my mind, or Jason's mind, and then we get to the topic at hand, and that is the Amazing Spider-Man 2 trailer. And I feel like by putting that Bellflower trailer in the thing, I think we're going to get in trouble with YouTube, but I don't know. I'll see about that one. I'll see about that one. Amazing Spider-Man 2. That came out a few days ago, the trailer for it.
Yep.
Thoughts, Jason?
My thoughts. Okay. My thoughts are this. I believe what Mark Webb is trying to do is bring the Amazing Spider-Man, the world of the Amazing Spider-Man out in sort of the way that I grew up with maybe you grew up with it, not necessarily the, Tobey Maguire films that are more like, I don't want to say classic, but they're more the old school Spider-Man where he never really cracked jokes, there's no real science stuff. I feel this one is really, really putting a heavy emphasis on that, and I appreciate that. From a movie standpoint, though, it looks like hot shit. It really does. It looks like it's going to be all over the place and they don't know what they're doing, that the story's going to be kind of too much. I think there's too much going on. But again, I appreciate what they're trying to do. I'm not going to have any final judgments until I see it, of course, but I don't have high hopes for it. That's just my feeling.
I think the problem with this one is the whole reason the Amazing Spider-Man exists, the first one, was because... or even going back a little bit, Spider-Man 3 is a terrible film because Sony was influencing too much of the decisions, and Sam Raimi was going like, okay, Sony, okay, because Sony wanted, like, they wanted Venom in it so they could do a Venom spin-off film. They wanted like more villains. They wanted to up the ante from Spider-Man 2, and Sam Raimi was like conceding on a lot of things, going like, okay, and that was Sony doing that. And then for Spider-Man 4, there was too much, like, the talk for Spider-Man 4, there was just too much butting of heads between Sam Raimi and Sony as to what the film should be, and the budget was getting out of control, and they said, you know what, we're going to go in a different direction, we're going to go in a cheaper direction, because you look at the actors that are in...
looks cheaper.
you look at the actors who are in Amazing Spider-Man, there's no, like, big stars among the bunch, really.
No.
People you can get for cheap, a movie that looks a lot cheaper, that I believe was done for about $80 million. You'll see numbers saying that it's 220 and 240. Those numbers are backed up by nothing, like $240 million. Those numbers are not backed up. I believe it's about $80 million it cost to do Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah. It looks like it costs about $80 million. I feel like Michael Pachter right now, giving you the industry insider. But for Amazing Spider-Man 2, well, I think, like, it's too much of Sony again, going like, it's got to be bigger, we got to compete with the Avengers, we got to compete with X-Men.
That's it. I see that and I go, oh, toys.
Yeah.
How many toys can we get? How many things? People like lots of heroes. People like lots
at the same time, like, I agree with that, but I believe the way the deals are even cut out, though, Sony doesn't even get a cut of any of the toy money. That's all Marvel. That's all Disney. They make the toy money.
I mean, I'm just saying toys, but I'm just thinking in general that they're looking at what the Avengers did, and they are really trying to replicate it, but they're going, you know what would be cool? Instead of a bunch of, like, heroes, we're going to have a bunch of villains.
Which, in theory, works, because Spider-Man does have such a good cast of villains. But to maybe do it over the course of a few films, like, they're doing 3 villains, as well as setting up the Black Cat, because she's in there as well. It's too much for one movie, and everyone's going, well, the third one's going to be the Sinister Six, and I'm like, well, yeah, but I don't give a shit.
So it's going to be even more chaotic, you know?
It's like, I think out of the Sinister Six, and the Sinister Six are fucking...
Scorpio?
That's not his name.
Scorpion.
I know, let's start the way that I was going to do it. Dr. Octopus, Electro, Mysterio, the Lizard, Rhino, and Scorpion. Or no, there's no Scorpion in there at all. It's fucking the Vulture. God damn it. He said start with Scorpio, which is nothing. And the Sinister Six at one point had Venom as well, but I believe that's what it is. There's no fucking Scorpion in there. He's not cool enough to be part of the Sinister Six.
When he was, I didn't think that. Was it the Doc Croc?
Doc Ock is the...
No, not Doc Ock. Doc Croc.
Oh, Doc Croc. He has the shoes. Okay, I'm looking at the Sinister Six right here. The original Sinister Six are... Okay, this is different than what we had, but this clearly can't be the... Yeah, okay, not the classic one. The Sinister Six here is a Vulture, Electro, Kraven, Mysterio, Sandman. That was the original in, like, 1908.
Silver Age.
Return of the Sinister Six and Revenge. Return has Octopus, Electro, Mysterio, Sandman, Vulture. So Sandman's there.
Yeah.
So for the movie continuity as they're doing it, it seems like Sandman would be taken out. Wait, what? Kraven the Hunter had committed suicide, so Hobgoblin took his place. What's happening? 3.
Kraven, what are you doing? Don't do that.
Wait, that's not even right. That's 5 people, so Hobgoblin, because that's only 5.
I know, that's why I'm like, in my head.
Revenge of the Sinister Six. Here we go. Dr. Octopus.
Okay.
Electro.
Okay.
Vulture.
Yeah.
Mysterio.
Yeah.
Hobgoblin.
Okay.
And Gog.
I'm sorry, what?
Who is Gog?
Gog? I don't know who Gog is.
Not familiar with Gog, but he seems really stupid.
Basically, there's 6 villains. They don't give a shit about who they are.
Yeah, it's like the Avengers. Avengers have rotated who they are a lot as well. Yeah. I think the traditional Avengers don't even have the Hulk in them, typically.
I don't think so, no.
But, no, Sinister Six, as the movies are going to do them, we don't know yet. They seem to have teased in the trailer Dr. Octopus and Vulture as well.
And they go through the science lab, and there's like...
And also, from the first movie, from the first movie, the Lizard is not dead. He was trapped up in Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
Basically.
In Arkham Asylum. But he was like, I'm sorry for what I've done. So it's like he's good now?
No, at the very end of that movie, they have fucking Norman Osborn going like, "Bruh." Do you remember that?
I know, but I thought he was like, no.
No, he was like, he's like, next time.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, he said, next time.
We just watched that movie, and I don't think that happened.
He said, next time.
But yeah, it's like they've got... who's that guy playing Harry Osborn?
That is Dane DeHaan from Chronicle, where he also played the villain of Chronicle.
Right. Couldn't understand what he was saying in that trailer.
Oh, I had no problem understanding.
I don't know why.
He said, what about Peter Parker? And then what about Peter Parker? And Norman Osborn said, maybe you got an earwax problem.
I don't know.
Maybe earwax problem?
I don't think so.
And Norman Osborn said, not everyone has a happy ending. Which, hey, I don't know if you know whose movie this is, but Spider-Man will have a happy ending.
You will, yeah. Or maybe Blondie there will die, which is how this comic books go.
That's how it should. She should die.
Yeah, and then the third one is Mary Jane. Makes sense.
I don't know. They Mary Jane was supposed to be in this movie, and they cut her out, and maybe she'll be recast for the third one. Nobody knows.
So it's like the next one they'll have like Mary Jane Black Cat being like, I love Spider. No,
nobody knows. I hope before the movie comes out, they cut out Black Cat as well, because it's being played by Felicity Jones, who is a wonderful actress.
And this movie has just not been doing good things for these actors and actresses.
It just eats up too much of their time.
Yeah, it really
Emma Stone is a great actress, and Andrew Garfield is a fantastic actor, and they're wasting all their time with these fucking movies that aren't going to be any good.
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx is Electro.
That poster that they have, he just looks so awkward.
The fucking Green Goblin, who's way off in the background. In the back, you can see there's a little screen where he's like, yeah, he's making the worst face imaginable. And then you have a fucking Transformer as Rhino.
It's a Zoid.
A Zoid.
It's literally a Zoid.
No, it's a Zord. It's one of the
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers thing. Same thing. It's Rhino Zord.
It's so bad. And just Jamie Foxx, he's like wired up. He's like, and just like he's just in like a black hoodie and black sweatpants. It's like you've got these two opposite ends of the spectrum.
But in the trailer you see him as like he has like a super suit as well.
Yeah, but it's just like it's such a weird.
Where's my super suit?
Where's my super suit? But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Some people at work were getting in a bit of a fight because they were like, some of them were talking about how they like this movie looks great, and other people were like, no, this movie looks terrible, and it's just like
me and you need to make a pact that we will see it.
Oh yes,
but we will not see it on opening weekend.
Sure.
Just to fuck Sony over.
All right.
Fuck you, Sony.
I'm okay
Get
with
it together. I do want to see it just because I need to see the train wreck in action. We spent too much time talking about it.
We really do.
All for you, Roberto.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a disaster. Poor Mark Webb, your career is fucking over.
Yeah.
You had so much promise, and look what you've done, you fucking monster. But seriously, yeah, I don't. That trailer is just a mess from start to finish. Hey, the suit looks good. Spider-Man's suit looks good. And the reason it looks good is because it's Raimi's suit all over again. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing, but they've just tweaked the eyes. The eyes look amazing.
So cool. Okay.
Amazing Spider-Man. The first Andrew Garfield one
is black eyes.
No, not black eyes. It's like gold.
Yeah.
Looks terrible. Now they have these like little speckles and stuff. It's like looks great. Yeah. So it's the best the suit has ever looked. So
which is really all we really care about at the end of the day. Does Spider-Man look good? Yes.
I want to see Zack Snyder's fucking Spider-Man. Everyone wants to. What?
Doesn't matter. I'm done with Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's awesome. This is not how to do it. They just didn't handle. You got the wrong person to do it.
Yeah.
Really and it's not like they'll stop making Spider-Man films anytime soon.
Because it'll sell.
This one will make money. They'll do a third one. That one will be too much for fucking anyone to stomach, and they'll reboot it again, and then it'll be good.
Yeah. Or not.
So that'll be 2020, and we'll be fucking 30 years old.
Jesus Christ.
It'll honestly be 2020 until that happens, and
we might have kids.
It'll be 6 years from now.
We might have kids.
And they will we'll introduce them to Raimi's trilogy, not Webb's trilogy. But also, there's also news about the Batman Superman film.
Yeah.
They announced Wonder Woman, and I was the only person who was fucking happy because Gal Gadot was cast as Wonder Woman. And I went, Gal Gadot from fucking Fast and Furious? She's awesome in those movies. She kicks so much ass. You grow to love that character so much. It's a great character. She's great in the movies. Everyone else who hasn't seen those movies, or anyone else who's just a misogynist, and rarely will I call people misogynists, but how is it that they cast Henry Cavill as Superman, but most people have not seen anything that Henry Cavill's in, but they go like, all right, yeah, that's Superman, all right. But nobody goes like, nobody goes, that's that's hot, man. They just cast some hot guy to play Superman.
Yeah.
Some hot. They should get a serious actor. Yeah. Nobody did that.
Nope.
With Gal Gadot being cast as Wonder Woman, everyone just goes, oh, they cast some fucking hot supermodel. Wonder Woman's supposed to be about strength and it's supposed to be empowering to women, and everyone's trying to tell everyone else about what Wonder Woman should be. But there was so much. And again, I sound like I'm somebody from Tumblr, but it's like there was so much quote unquote body shaming because everyone's like, she doesn't look like she could, brush shoulders with Batman and Superman because she's like skinny because she's a model, but she's also an actress, and it's like you didn't hear people say that when they cast Christian Bale.
Powers.
Well, no, fucking she can work out.
Yeah.
Women could get muscles. They don't shoot the film tomorrow. She can work out and she can get a little bit jacked.
Yeah.
But she looks like fucking Wonder Woman. She's gorgeous. I don't know if you've heard her talk, but she has an Israeli accent in such a way that you can't quite place where her accent's from,
which good.
Fits with Diana, Wonder Woman, and Amazonian to have a bit of an accent. It's like, no, they cast somebody who else would be it? Should we get Anne Hathaway to play Wonder Woman? I don't know. Who the fuck else do you get to play Wonder Woman?
Natalie Portman.
They went with somebody that we don't know, and we didn't see the audition process. We didn't see how that all went.
We didn't see her go like, ching, ching.
She apparently beat out Olga Kurylenko, who was in Quantum of Solace as the Bond girl, who's also a good actress, very pretty, but beat her out. It's like, no, Gal Gadot kicks fucking ass in the Fast and Furious films. I think she's going to be a great Wonder Woman. I'm more excited to see. Somehow they add Batman, they add Wonder Woman to Superman, and I'm like, good, go for it.
Yeah.
We don't even know what the villains are yet, but with Spider-Man, anytime it's like a new addition, I'm like, no, you fucked up Spider-Man. Don't add more things. Let's work on getting Spider-Man right. One villain.
When I saw that Rhino outfit on the poster, I was like,
outfit is the one way to put it. Why not just get him in a mech? Why can't he just be a mech?
I literally thought, did they add a different villain? Oh, that's Rhino.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Let's do this, guys.
And it's like, what cards are they hiding from us? Because if it's like, they could have kept the Green Goblin thing a secret. The same way The Dark Knight, nobody knew going in. Like, we all knew, like, no, The Dark Knight, not The Dark Knight Rises. Everyone knew going in that Harvey Dent is in it, and they're probably setting up for a third film with Two-Face.
Yeah.
But then midway through, he becomes Two-Face. Spoilers for a 5-year-old movie. He becomes Two-Face, and it's like, whoa, I didn't expect that. And he's almost like the real villain, because the final part, like, Batman's already dealt with the Joker, but now has to deal with Two-Face. They actually did the same thing again in Dark Knight Rises, but it was a less well-kept secret, with Talia al Ghul being in there as well.
Yeah.
Spoilers again for Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
And that's another piece of news that trickled out with Star Trek Into Darkness. That J.J. Abrams was asked, and hey, tune out now if you don't want to have Star Trek spoiled.
Okay.
Have you seen Into Darkness?
Yeah. I like
the twist with John Harrison being Khan. They were asked so much during every time any of them were interviewed, hey, are you playing Khan? Nah.
Yeah.
Hey, is Khan in this movie? No. Everyone was lying. Fucking Simon Pegg was lying. J.J. Abrams was lying.
Cool,
Benedict.
who's that?
Everyone was lying. They all lied. We watched the movie and went, oh, okay, we missed
it's Khan. Cool.
And then it's like, you have to go to yourself, well, I guess they were lying for the benefit of the film. At the same time, they were fucking lying. They were lying to our faces.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. And J.J. Abrams, during the press junket for, like, Star Wars, like, trying to get the hype train rolling, was asked about, like, hey, well, you were lying. What's up with that? Would you do it differently? And he was like, yeah, honestly, maybe it was a mistake. Yeah, I think it didn't handle it as well as we could have. And that's what he came out and said that. He was like,
He's
yeah,
lying. He's lying.
If we, if I had to do it again, we wouldn't do it that way. Because it's like, why couldn't they just say, yeah, it is Khan?
Yeah.
But he says it was almost more Paramount's thing, that Paramount wanted to keep it a secret. But no, then Benedict Cumberbatch came out and said, what a dickhead, to J.J. Abrams. Like, because J.J. Abrams was kind of like, because he was the one, J.J. Abrams was like, no, we have to keep this under wraps.
Yeah.
And you have to lie. And now he's like going like, it's probably a bad idea. And then Cumberbatch just being like,
you told me to do this.
You told me to lie. You made me look like a liar in front of everybody.
You don't want to get in his bad side.
Yes.
He's a scary motherfucker.
Smaug.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're doing the promotional tour for that, which we talked about last week. We talked about Smaug. But I think that's it for this one.
I think we're going to wrap this up.
Covered a lot of ground.
We'll talk about more next week.
Yeah. Be sure to pre-order your tickets for Amazing Spider-Man too.
Definitely got to do that, guys, because if not, then...
One thing I do like, I want to say about Spider-Man, one thing I do like is that they're moving back to May. Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 all came out in May. For some reason, Amazing Spider-Man thought July is a good place to put it.
Yeah.
No, May is Spider-Man month. That's when they've always come out. And this one comes back out in May. That's the one thing they got right. The summer season should start with Spider-Man, not in the middle be in July. July is Batman month.
That's it, guys. We hope you enjoyed the show. Go watch us on twitch.tv/AlexandJason, youtube.com/SuperRoboPlay. Catch you guys next week. Hello!
Sinister 7.
Ugh. Ugh. Oh.